Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special council meeting for the City of Dauphin on July 24th, 2023. We're going to call the meeting to order now at 5:02. And with that being said, before we get into the business, we do wish to acknowledge that on the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples and homeland of the Métis Nation. And we affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Mayor Boziak. Be it resolved that Council accepts the special council meeting agenda as presented. Probably no questions or comments there, so I'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Whereas the Municipal Act Section 162 states each member of the council must attend the public hearing unless the member A is excused by the other members from attending the hearing, B is unable to attend owing to illness, or C is required under the Municipal Council Conflict of Interest Act to withdraw from the hearing. Be it resolved that council excuses no councillors from this meeting, although Councillor Sobering is not here, so we'll put him down on the list. And with that being said, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. Motion carried. Moved by Mayor Boziak, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that council now adjourns to hear the public hearing as scheduled. No questions, no comments there. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. All right, council will now commence to hear representations from the public who wishes to make a presentation for the scheduled public hearing under the Planning Act. Anyone who has not yet registered but wishes to make a presentation for the public hearing. Doesn't look like there's anyone here, so we'll move past that and we'll go into the business of things. 4A, number one, we will now proceed with the public hearing for Local Improvement Plan Bylaw 07/2023. That is the South End Storm Sewer Upgrades for the City of Dauphin. To authorize the expenditure and borrowing, of money for the South End drainage system. Would the city manager like to speak in favor of the application?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So in a nutshell, a little bit about the province, and then I will turn it over a little bit to our Director of Finance to talk about the borrowing of some specifics. But first, this is a required project. The province is twinning Main Street South and putting in service roads. Therefore, there will be no room for the water to move through our community as it has been. The province has a law that says a municipality cannot increase the rate of flow into a neighboring municipality. So we do have to deal with the water that is coming through our community. We contracted a consultant to do an engineering study to design retention ponds and underground piping to deal with the water. And the project that we have presented today is the result.
Yeah, so in terms of funding required for the project, it is 8.15 million. So at that amount, we're looking to repay it over a 20-year period. Current interest rates with the province of Manitoba right now are 5.4%. They, out of an abundance of caution, recommend that we go higher than that in a public hearing form. Just so we get the authorized funding for it. So the percentage shown here on the public hearing is 8.4%. We do not expect it to get that high, but again, out of an abundance of caution, we set it at that rate. So at 8.4%, the mill rate would be 1.983, and then the estimated annual repayments would be 854,956. If we were to borrow the money today, so just to show you the difference, at 5.4%, the funding requirements would be 676,000. So Obviously, at that interest rate, we are having pretty big difference in payments. So that's
No, does council have any questions, comments? I see none. I'll quickly run through this. You're okay? Okay. Just quickly running through this, is there any other person present in support of this application who wishes to speak? I see no one. Is there any other person who wishes to speak in objection to this application? I see no one. But into the next item is there anyone else who wishes to make a presentation on this application? We did have a question submitted, so I will read that question now. It is from Mr. Alex Dimitrich, so we thank him for the question. This will bring some clarity too, which we're grateful to be able to do for the public. So here's the question. Attention to Mayor and Council. In response to proposed Manitoba government announcement that it would invest more than $13 million to reconstruct Provincial Highway 5A, including installation of storm sewer drainage and catch basins, curb, and gutter in cooperation with the City of Dauphin. Please accept this e-letter for public presentation and record at the upcoming public hearing, which is today, July 24th, 2023, with the understanding. I support the Province of Manitoba capital improvement project as described, including installation of storm sewer drainage and catch basins, curb and gutter in cooperation and financing with the City of Dauphin. According to public notice in this regard, the city estimates approximately $8 million to be debentured through the province over 20 years at an estimated mill rate of approximately 1.9 mils. For an average residential property assessed at $200,000, this will increase property taxes by approximately $180 a year for the 2023-2024 tax and incrementally thereafter, subject to any assessment increases for the next 20 years. A business of similar value would see an increase of approximately $250 and incrementally increase as assessment values change. My question to council is what allocation, if any, will be drawn from general or any reserve established for this project to lessen the tax impact as a result of this needed project? And again, that's from Alex Dimitrich. Alex, thank you very much for the question. To avoid babbling, I wrote down kind of a response to this, so I'll read that now, and then if anyone else wants to chime in, feel free. My response to that I wrote down during the preparation of the 2023 budget, when this drainage project was being discussed along with all other capital projects upcoming in the next few years, we identified we would need to borrow money as the reserves have been earmarked for those certain projects. So we decided that we'd borrow for this drainage project, so therefore we could fund other capital projects from our reserves in subsequent years. And furthermore, we have not yet identified the source or sources of our borrowing, and we actually may ultimately borrow some funds from our reserves. So from my standpoint, Alex, hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if anyone else wants to comment. We'll let our Director of Finance, actually, Scott Carl, have a little bit more.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, just a clarification. So obviously over the next 20 years, assessments will increase, but as assessments do increase, the mill rate will be adjusted accordingly. So mill rate will go down to make this debenture repayment. And therefore, individual properties may see decreases as well as increases. I think the comment was that it's sort of making the assumption that as assessments increase, that the repayments will increase, but that's not accurate. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments regarding that? Okay. Seeing that, we'll move on with the meeting. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council now reconvenes to the special council meeting. And again, thank you, Alex, for the question. Any questions or comments there? None? We'll call those. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that the public hearing for Bylaw 07/2023, the South End Storm Sewer Upgrades, be now concluded. Call the questions there. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that bylaw 07/2023, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to authorize the expenditure and borrowing of money for the South End drainage system, be now read a first time. Assuming there will be no questions or comments, we'll call all those. And for the first time, all in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. And with that being said, this meeting does adjourn. Do I need a motion and a seconder to adjourn the meeting? Or are we good to go? We're good? So